At the start of this month, I wanted to get back into game development. You see, a while back, I used to do game development a lot, okay? From 6th grade up until about a year and a half ago, I did consistent game development, I would say. But since the past year and a half, I've kind of taken a break, kind of taken a step back, and now I'm kind of wanting to just go back to it and give it another shot. So that's what I did, and this is the game that I created. Let's just go through this journey, shall we? It started off like any other journey would, okay? In the game development space, you always start with the cube, okay? Normally, like, if you're doing like a 3D model, it's always a cube that you start with, but also in Unity, it's just the first thing I go to is the cube. And as you can see, I tried to make the cube move around, and it went about as well as you can see here. You know, zooming around, it's very hard to look at. I am sorry I'm doing this to you. So then I decided to just get rid of that cube. Okay, we want balls here. No. Wait. Don't question that. That sounds bad out of context. However, as I was getting this sphere into the game here, you know, still having issues with the movement. You know, it's a lot smoother now. It's actually kind of working, but I'm still having these camera issues. The amount of issues that I had trying to get this third-person camera to work was honestly ridiculous. I think I spent probably the most amount of time on this one thing. Like, if I spent more time on anything else, I'd be shocked, because I'm pretty sure it took me like an hour to 2 hours trying to figure out how to get a good type of like camera movement for the game. Like, you can see like all these different iterations of trying to figure out how to do it, and eventually I just did this thing called Cinemachine, which is like a built-in plugin, which was really helpful. And as you can tell, it's able to track better, and you actually have that movement working. And I also added in like the little directional indicator, which is the little gray sphere at the end of it, and whatever direction you look in, it turns that way. So that's what I was working on with that, and you know, it really worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. You know, you're able to move around. If you push forward, you locked in, you're looking forward, and then if you let go, you just start rolling and the camera follows, and you know, it works really well. So I'm really happy with how the movement and the camera all worked out. After I got the player movement and camera movement all set up, I'm like, all right, let's make some coins. Let's get a level started. So, you know, I gotta change the ground to black, you know, really makes the character pop out a lot more. And then adding in the white walls as, you know, the perimeter. And then I also made these cool little coins that I placed in the level. And as you can see, you're able to zoom over and pick them up. And once you collect all 3 of them, it takes you to the next level. I don't think I had that implemented at this point, but that's the whole idea. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool and all, but how about we add in another thing? And this is the red coin that you're seeing right here, and this is the speed coin. The speed coin, you have to have a certain speed to be able to get it. So you can see I was testing it out, and it's cool and all, but you know, the player can just leave right away. So I was like, all right, let's just make a little level here. And with that, we have the level that you can see here. You know, it took a while to get to this point, I will say, and later in the video you can see more additions to it, but you know, just kind of like a long path where you're able to move around. And then after that, I went back to the first level and kind of just added in a couple more coins and kind of just getting the levels like set up. So you can see level 1 was just there, and now level 2 right here. You have to go to the very end, because then it gives you enough speed, kind of like a runway at an airport, to really just go and then be able to pick it up. At this point, I'm like, okay, it is time to make this game look better. The player is boring, the coins are boring, and so what did I do? I changed it up. As you can see here, I decided to go through, model out a player character, and you know, the little round part that was there, the little indicator showing what direction you were looking in, I decided, why not just go and, I don't know, turn that into an eye. And that's kind of where the whole name of the game came from. And then after that, I also, you know, worked on 3D model for the coin, and, you know, added it all into the game. And honestly, I think the coin looks so cool. I love it. The coin, I also added like a rotating thing to it. It's really cool to see how like shiny it is. I love that gold color. It looks great. And then also added in the player character, as you see, and you know, kind of just like updated the levels and stuff like that. But I wasn't really too happy with how the whole player ended up looking. since I didn't really like how the player was looking in the game, I'm like, all right, it is time for a remodel, which is pretty funny because I just modeled it in the first place. And I'm like, okay, let's do, instead of like a BB-8 type of thing, let's just like put it in the middle and have it be like hovering in the middle. So that's how I came up with this model, where it's the eye in the middle and it's like the protective covering around it. And so this dude, he's just chilling. He's living his best life, you know? And I think it looks so much better, honestly. And with that, I wanted to update the colors a little bit so you can actually see it. And after a few iterations, I finally came to something that I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. But you can see right now, it's just a slightly clear, you know, see-through type of material, which I think worked out really well. Once I made the models, and I was like, that looks pretty good, I was like, all right, let's do some post-processing, shall we? So I added in some of that pretty, you know, like nice looking stuff. I think it makes the game just look so much better, less flat and stuff. And then I also added in the specialty of player speed color matching. It's really cool. So the faster you go, the redder you turn, and once you get the full red, which is like a max speed of 15, you're able to collect the speed coin. So I think that is such a cool thing that I was able to add in. At this point, I've gotten the game looking pretty good. You're able to do very basic things, but now I wanted to add in firing. So as you can see, I added in shooting, firing, whatever you want to call it. And at first it was a little crazy. You could just destroy the entire environment, which really wasn't the whole plan. I just wanted to have it so you can destroy the metal objects, which, as you can see, it's like the grayish metallic color there. And I kind of messed up at first because I made it so you could only shoot the other walls instead of that one, so that making it invincible. But then, you know, after working on that, I fixed that, and then I decided to just make this cool cloud model. And so whenever you shoot, it would create the cloud model at first in the middle of whatever object you shoot, which was an issue, and I wanted to fix that, so I did. Whenever you shot something, then it just spawned above it. I think I made it like a few units higher, and I had some issues with that after a little bit, after like messing with things, as you can see, just flying around all over the place. But, you know, that was just a fun little thing, I will say. Eventually I did get it to work fairly well, I would say. And, you know, wherever you shoot, it creates the cloud, and you're also able to destroy the wall. So I think that worked out really well. And, you know, I just decided, okay, now that that's working, let's add in the transition for it. So it's like an acid rain cloud destroying, eroding away the metallic color of the wall. So after a few attempts here, you can see like going through it, I was able to eventually get it to work. And I'm like, hey, that's really cool looking. I like how it just completely transitions, and, you know, I think it looks great, honestly. And, you know, I had a couple of hiccups with it, but eventually I got it working perfectly. So yeah. However, just because I got it working perfectly didn't mean I was done with it. I wanted to add in the effects. Okay, so I really was like messing around with these different type of things. Like, as you can see, I got the different acid rain effects, like raining down. At first it was like bouncy, and then it was like extra like glowing and stuff. And, you know, the particle system is really fun to mess around with inside of Unity. So I was just going through, trying out different things, seeing how it works, and it's really cool, like seeing, you see the acid rain falling, and then, oh, the metal on the wall gets eroded away. And, you know, I also changed the color of the cloud to make it green, like a dark, like acidy green, and then, you know, I had a little bit of fun with it along the way, because why not? And then, of course, I decided to just go and like change it a little bit to, instead of just blending in with the regular walls, it turns it into a green wall. And the green wall is very important later on. After creating the cloud and basically having the whole game set up as it was, I wanted to go through and create some more levels and actually have more like gameplay for the game. So I went through and started trying out different things, and I made this cool little level design for level 3 here. And as you can see, I was able to first create a switch between the abilities. So there's just a regular laser and then the acid laser. And then with that, you're also able to destroy the green walls with that laser, the base laser. I also went back to, like, I think the second level and decided to just really update it and revamp it, and it was really cool. I even added in a cool pressure plate type of system that when you step over it, it lowers down the laser door. Instantly after completing the last level, I'm like, all right, that was cool, let's jump into the next level. And as you can see, I spent a little bit of time here trying to figure out how I wanted to go about it. I wanted to add in the laser door pressure plate type of system along with the breakable green walls, and also throw in the metallic walls in there. So you have to actually use a little bit of problem solving there and figure out, okay, like how do I actually go about doing this? And it's not just, okay, just move here and collect the coin. Then after that, I was on a streak of just creating levels. So I went and messed around to create this level that you're seeing here. This one was absolutely massive, and you really had to use everything that you learned from the previous levels. And I also wanted to add an additional challenge to it, which was capping how many acid rain clouds you could use. And basically, every time you collected a coin, you would get an acid rain cloud. So that way you have to be really strategic about like where you actually decide to shoot, in what order, like that kind of stuff, and that really shines through on the final level. At this point, I wanted to make a better visualization of really knowing what you're able to do at the current moment. So I made some particle effects. If it's just a regular blue, you're able to just shoot the regular laser, and if it's green, you're able to shoot the acid laser, and you're able to switch between it with like a click of the mouse button, which is really helpful. And you could just destroy the metal of the wall using the acid ability, and then switch over to the regular laser, and then just you're good to go there. So that was pretty cool. That I was like, okay, how can I better visualize this? Because this whole game is really about that. You know, I really wanted to teach the player through the different colors that you have access to. Then to finish everything off, I wanted to really make it very clear what you're able to do instead of just leaving it up to, okay, you can see the different colors. That's how you know what you're able to do. Like the whole concept of switching between and all this different stuff, like all the different abilities, the 2 different abilities, and you know, wanted to make you unlocked the whatever, you know, the acid rain ability, and then show how that works, explain that. And so I incorporated that, and you know, that looks pretty good in the game. And then I'm like, okay, this is the final countdown now. Let's make this main menu. And I made the Eye of the Storm main menu, made sure all the functionality was working right with that. And, you know, that's why I decided to name the game Eye of the Storm, because they're kind of creating little mini storms, and you're the eye in the middle, and it's just funny, you know, it works. So yeah, that's really about it, you know, just the Eye of the Storm game here. It's very short, very sweet, to the point, but it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun creating it. It was a fun to play through, and you know, if you're interested in actually playing this, you can play it right now if you go and join the Discord server. If you scroll down, you can join the Discord server, and there's a link in there that you're able to click on to access the game. So it's just like, the reason I'm doing this, it's like, you know, helps build up the community that I'm trying to build here, and in addition to that, you get to play this game if you're interested. You know, it's really short. I didn't want to like show like how you could beat all the different parts of the game, you know, like step by step, and I wanted to make sure it's just, okay, showing a little bit of like the creation behind everything, but not really showing how to beat everything. So yeah, that's really about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. And yeah, this game took me a little while to work on. I started it on the 1st of April and ended it on the 11th of April, so about 10-11 days of working on the game. And you know, it was fun. I'm currently working on another project. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do these types of videos, if I'm really going to be doing more game development in the future, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's really going to be it. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. You can check out the game by joining the Discord server, and with that, I'll see you in the next one.